Well, YouTube! It is Super Bowl V of CKFL. We started with over 14 playoff teams, and we are down to only two. The Colts and the Packers. Gentlemen, ladies, everyone, welcome in the Super Bowl. Today, we are down to two teams, two mighty teams, the Colts and the Packers. But to be fair, although the championships were almost a three scores each, these two teams have more than earned their path to a right at a title tonight. Both teams already have a title in the CKFL series. Here we are, folks, Madden NFL 25. We appreciate everyone in attendance tonight. Matt Kenny in the booth. And one thing I want to say as we go in this pregame show, the one thing I want to point out is just how stacked some of these users are. You know, how stacked these teams really are. You know, I don't think people understand really how easy it is to be in this league. Now, obviously, there are actual pro leagues that will, actually, encourage, cheesing or do what you want, no play call limits, whatever. But obviously, even though we could be even more strict, I think we do have one of the better leagues where there is somewhat of a freelance out there. But at the end of the day, there are restrictions to really, give those off meta, feel, to the game. And, we are the Broncos. We really appreciate, everyone who has been here for the franchise support. Maybe you are, a pure muck guy, but you're just watching the stream to have some fun tonight. Shout out to everyone who's in the league, actually. This is the 5th complete season, which is really hard to believe. We actually had a full league pretty much up until now. The worst we had was like 3 or 4 vacancies at one point, which is still pretty good to have over 90% of the league there pretty much at all times. The thing I will say about franchise that happens every single year is we are almost there for the reset. So if you do want to join this franchise, you have to understand that, you want to join now because we're only doing one season left. And by joining, you're giving yourself the best chance to be there for a spot for next year. Because as you guys know, this is a fantasy draft. So, with a fantasy draft, what it does is it really gives you the ultimate experience to where, you can control your team. You start young, you make trades, have a good off season. If you think it's fun, at draft day for the real NFL, it is 20 times more fun to go out there and simulate it with your buddies. Because we all know franchise is fun, but it's infinitely better when it's an online franchise because you're not trading with bots, you're trading with real humans, right? Before we actually go into the actual game, probably a total here of a 5-6 minute pregame. The first thing I want to point out is one more thing out of the standings and the playoff bracket. So the wild card round definitely had, it was either a blowout or it was a field goal game by pretty much 3 games. The Dolphins impressively won by 2 and then upset me in the divisional round. However, we could not get more than 1 stop the entire game. It really sucks, but at the end of the day, he earned it. Michael, the Indianapolis Colts, has made 3 Super Bowls out of 5, and he is right now going to try to win his 3rd Super Bowl and definitely really cement himself. I mean, this is really the biggest game for him because, Michael, and this is the 3rd straight Super Bowl for the Packers. The thing I will say for a three-peat, well, going, not winning, but the Packers have 1 Super Bowl title. They are 1-1. This is a rematch of Super Bowl III of CKFL, and this is the first season that we're marking for the history books. We are doing 6 seasons every single year, so we only have 1 season after this, and then July will be pretty much, mid-July on. It'll be like a pure month off, which is nice, ratifying the rules, whatever. But this is a big game for the Colts because they have a chance to really, undisputably, undoubtedly go out there and make themselves the number one player, in this league. If the Packers win this game, not only have these two teams then split the Super Bowl series, but obviously they each have 2 Super Bowl wins, and they will both be 2-1 of all time in the Super Bowls with 3 Super Bowls each. At that point, it will be a direct tie. Depends on what happened in season 6 for who will be claimed the best player in this league. But for us, we were only able to make 1 Super Bowl, even though we have one of the better teams out there. A lot of things have happened in terms of going into Super Bowl week. Because we are going into the final season, before we do go over the Packers and the Colts rosters very quickly, we are going to have every single player return except for Jose Castillo, which honestly I'm okay with that because receivers are one of the more expendable positions in the National Football League with the running back. But what I will say is this was our team that we had. And we will see who gets dev regressed. We do actually have dev regression in this league, which makes it more fun. But pretty much what happened was Kyle Pitts went down to superstar. Everything else stayed the same in terms of regression. In terms of age regression. No one else got promoted or whatever. Defense, we got 2 promotions. Kainsey is back to X Factor, and Quay Walker is superstar for the mid-zone KO. But we also got, I believe, 2 dev downs. Age Kyle Hamilton, and also probably age Devontae Banks. Remember, we also have a loyalty system, okay? To where you will get a free dev up of anyone you want as long as you've been in the league going into your 6th season, which pretty much means you were there in year 1 at least. So I will likely be using mine on Mike Hall or a DT for once for some inside gain, or I'll do it on someone else I will evaluate later, okay? Let's go over the Colts and the Packers, and we'll get right in this puppy here and all that stuff. As we go over these rosters, it is really important to point out that the Colts, what makes it really cool is I'm pretty sure that they actually had 3 different quarterbacks in their 3 Super Bowl runs. I believe Joe Burrow, could be wrong. And then he also had Zach Wilson when he beat the Packers in the first one. Now he has Jake Hyder, okay, at quarterback. Running back, DeAndre Swift for the Colts. Okay, I'll play some music here as we go over the teams here. We have Tavondre Stroud, DK Metcalf, Rashid Shaheed at wide receiver for Indianapolis. Isaiah Likely at tight end from Coastal Carolina. Starting left tackle, Dan Moore. Left guard, Matt Murphy, superstar. Andre James. The center, Dawad Jones from Ohio State is your right guard for Indianapolis. Kingsley Sumatia is the right tackle. We have Dante Weldon as a pass rusher. Myles Garrett, the X Factor, former first-round pick in CKFL, top 10 pick. Javier Sermon, Christian Wilkins, the veteran. B.J. Ojolari, left outside linebacker. Middle linebackers, we have 2, Calvin Felton and Keenan Carrington. Larry Glover is your right side linebacker from Washington State. The corners, the cornerstone corners. Nate Wiggins, Trent McDuffie, Quinyon Mitchell. One of the favorite young corners with Cooper DeJean in the real NFL. And with diamond quarter packages, Malcolm Stevens. Free safeties, Jalen Petrie. Kalen Bullock. Kicking is Justin Larson tonight with only 91 power. And the punter is Bryce Barringer. However, we doubt we will see some punters tonight. We are now going to be going over the one-time champion who beat me last year by double digits and double scores. I believe 9 points. And that is the Green Bay Packers, folks. So here come the Packers, who started off in a tough division, arguably one of the top 3 unanimous divisions in the CKFL. We'll go over divisions here before we start the game. But here we go, folks. We will play the music again here. We have Zach Wilson, who is going against his former team, the Indianapolis Colts. We have Bijan Robinson, the running back, one of the top 3 running backs, again, unanimous in this league. Fullback, Taylor Robinson. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Devontae Smith, and Rondell Moore, all your receivers. Stan Galloway, the rookie tight end, who is already a great tight end in this league, with Dylan Irons as a backup. Blocking for Zach Wilson is Ray Amaro, an auto-gen player. Matthew Bergeron. As left guard, center, Christian Haynes. Another auto-gen right guard, Mitch Durant. Right tackle, Joe Alt, the superstar. Started at 20 years old in this league. Left end, we have Felix Anoke-Uzoma. Right end, Jalen Carter. Super Bowl IV MVP. Jerzadeh Newton, DT, with Justin Abuje. Left outside linebacker, Ledu Ledu. And also we have a backup, Channing Tindall, who is a nice young player in the real NFL. Carlos McDowell is your middle linebacker with Jalen Charlies. We have a right outside linebacker, Odafe Owe. Corners, we'll go over all 4 here in diamond dollar packages. Definitely a weakness in this Green Bay defense. We have Daxton Hill moved from safety, I believe, to corner. We have Perry Woodley. We have Oscar Patterson, another young player on this team. And Andrew Booth will be in dime and dollar packages in quarter. Xavier McKinney, okay, free safety. Strong safety, we have Jordan Battle, who's a little bit slower. Kicking for them is a 99. He is a rookie. He is a gem player, Drew Bolden. And we have Ryan Stonehouse, the veteran, kicking with 98 power. This will be the last Super Bowl. I am proud to announce I have announced 4 out of the 5 Super Bowls tonight. We're in this league. But here are the divisions. Obviously, Coach K went undefeated, but unfortunately lost in the first round. Second time he did that as a 1 seed, losing the first playoff game in round 2 with the first round bye. But the one thing I will say is the 7 seed going 12-5. It just shows you really, sadly for Tennessee, 10-7, they're right there. It just sucks. Obviously there's a lot, to talk about for next year, but all that stuff, we will get to the game here in 1 minute. We are going to go ahead and have them click in here. So I will tell them to click in here, and we are ready to go. Again, we do really appreciate you guys, for being here in the pregame. And we are ready to go, everyone. Let me go ahead and tell them to click here. We are ready to go, everyone. Here we go. It is definitely go time here, everyone, in the stadium. And it looks like the stadium, not sure where it is. We will figure it out here in a heartbeat. But I know one thing, folks. We are ready for Super Bowl V under the lights. And here we go. We are in a packed city, Raymond James. Honestly, dude, what this game just does whatever it wants to do. Well, at least now we know where the stadium's played. That's Madden football for you. While they go back in and click in, the one thing I will say, let's go over the yearly awards here in CKFL Year 5. MVP, Jalen Hurts. Congrats to Joe. Coach of the Year, Matt Kennedy. No coach like him, even though he lost the first playoff game. AFC, Pacheco. Offensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, Parsons. Big reason they won the divisional round versus Denver. Chad Harbor, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Finrod Duckbird. Best quarterback, Jake Hyder. Best running back, Pacheco. Best wide receiver, Jace Brown. Best O-line, Frank Ragnow. Best D-line, Micah Parsons. Best linebacker, Tuli Tulopo. We have a DB award, goes to Dalton Allen. Best kicker, Jason Sanders. We will go over the NFC if we have time. But we are back in the gameplay. We are live. Raymond James Stadium, fire the cannons. And draw your swords. It is a sellout crowd in Palm Beach. Just outside of the, I want to say, Atlantic Ocean. Here we are, folks, in downtown Florida. Who is ready, man? Both teams were 15-2. And honestly, we're already going to go over the keys to the game. In my opinion, the keys to the game is playing turnover-free football. In baseball, it's base running. In basketball, it is making your free throws. Doesn't matter, where you're at. It doesn't matter how good of a football team you are, how good of a baseball team you are, how good of a basketball team you are. It's all about the small things. It's, being opportunistic. It's going out there and playing the game of football the way it was meant to be played. And that was turnover free. And it was being, again, opportunistic, clutching up, making the good play calls and stuff like that. We are starting with a 5-wide offense here for Jake Hyder, who will take the snap. 3-man rush, light pressure. He's going to have a seam for days. First down. The right seam there, Tavondre Strout, the leading receiver for Indianapolis, makes the catch. Over 55 yards in the stricken throw. 5 wide seams. 3-man rush, no pressure. First down. 3-man rush again for the Packers. Takes a snap, and it's going to be a touchdown. Isaiah Likely from Coastal Carolina many moons ago, number 80. He has been a cornerstone for this Indianapolis offense. Throws a strike right underneath the deep blue of cover 3, and they had no chance. The Indianapolis Colts, a team who unfortunately is only owned on defense by the Denver Broncos, even though other teams have beat the Colts in the past. The Denver Broncos match up well with their KOs and great pass rush. We will see what the Packers can do, though, as an NFC opponent in the Super Bowl for a rematch. 7-0 already, and he throws a strike. But again, as we look at these speeds of these players, and I will showcase them here, you look at Tavondre Strout on that streak. He only has 91 speed. Handoff Bijan, no gain. But, you look at this receiving core, Tavondre Strout, I'm sorry, guys. I actually thought he's actually first in overall, but he's third on the depth chart, which makes him a slot receiver by definition. 91 speed just shows you the receiver position is very depthful in this league. And that's going to be a good read underneath. Gets a nice animation, no spit out animation. First down there, Devontae Smith, many moons ago from Alabama. First down. Handoff, Bijan. Good job. Ooh, I don't know if I would have cut out there. Tackle by Jalen Petrie, I think. Give him 3. 2nd and 12. Or 2nd and 10, I'm sorry, for this offense. RPO, left side. It's Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, and he will go for the first. I'm going to verify right now that safety. Forget which one has Petrie. That is Petrie, folks, number 5 for the Colts. On the tackle, going up against Bijan Robinson. First down and 10, trips formation here for the Colts, or I'm sorry, for the Packers. Trying to go for their 3rd Super Bowl win. Packers going for their 2nd. What a strike. It's Irons, the backup tight end. First down. Inside the 18-yard line go the Packers. And the one thing I'll say in this league, like I said, everything is earned. Definitely not pro vibes, but let's be honest here. It's not casual vibes. I'll tell you that in the playoffs. First down and 10 in the red zone. Takes a snap. 3-man rush. In the pocket. Stands strong. Right side. Has a man. Irons. Backup tight end. First down. Give him 11. First down and goal, Green Bay. They are threatening early. Each team is. And again, we are outside Raymond James Stadium, home of Fire the Cannons. Draw your swords. It is going to be a bloodbath here in the Atlantic Ocean tonight. Handoff. Oh, the blocking. Oh, to the half-yard line. You really want to see Bijan fall forward. You want to see Bijan Mustard there fall forward, because let me tell you one thing right now. You're going up against this front. Myles Garrett, a 2-time Super Bowl winner, Michael and the Colts. Getting a half yard here is not going to be a walk in the park. In motion, I believe that is the rookie tight end. It's a quarterback sneak, and it's a touchdown. One thing I'll say, it's personnel on personnel. It's a cat and mouse game, right? Anytime someone comes out in goal line, you have got to come out in goal line, especially on the 1/2 yard line or 1 yard line. You have to anticipate a quarterback sneak. If they don't run a quarterback sneak, that's fine, but you have to be ready for the quarterback sneak. I love it. Touchdown, 7-7. We got a game here again in Super Bowl 5. Let's see what Zach Wilson and this pass offense has to offer here. We do have a 7-7 score here in the first quarter. But I am going to go back here again to these teams' depth charts and pull up these names. But here we go. First down and 10. Gun normal. He has a motion. No pressure. Goes to the right. Throws a strike. It's Rashid Shaheed. First down. Rashid Shaheed definitely has one of the better stories of the National Football League from Weber State. The in real life New Orleans Demon. In motion goes Stroud. Now it's a gun bunch look to the right. To his right is Swift. To his left is Metcalf. In the slot is tight end Isaiah Likely. There's pressure! And he's... I would throw that away there. Hyder has a half-yard loss. It's just over 2nd and 10. Pressure that time by, I believe, Jalen Carter. Maybe it wasn't, though. 2nd and 10. 4-man rush. Hyder. And that one, it should have been picked. What a catch that time by DK Metcalf. Gets me a little bit off guard. There's number 86, but it's fine. First down. 1st and 10. Hyder looks, throws. I am honestly questioning these in-traffic catches. Touchdown to Trevante Stroud. What a catch by Trevante Stroud. And I think both teams are making these catches in traffic. It is honestly nothing less than phenomenal. Especially when you are showing up in the Super Bowl for your team and helping out your quarterback in times of need. This game right now is the epitome of third down does not exist. We have not had a third down all game. 14-7 here in the first. Now we are changing gears here to this Packers offense, and we will see what Rondale Moore, Devonta Smith, and Jackson Smith-Njigba can do. With Bijan Robinson, handoff. There he goes. Give him 6. The one thing I'll say, about franchise, it's really an ability-based game still. Does your running back have tank? Yes or no? How many edge threats or double or nothings do you have in the defensive front? Handoff, Bijan, give him 2. A short 2. It's third down. Also, watch out for this tight end, Stan Galloway. He is number 0 with Dylan Irons, who already has a target or 2 in this game. Those are 2 players who are used a lot in the Packers offense. But, I think the best part, again, about franchise is not only the online aspect. Not only is it full crossplay, which college football is right now, or not right now, but it's the fantasy draft. And we'll talk more about it here in a minute. 3rd down and 2, trips to the left. That is Stan Galloway to the right. Wilson, shotgun. Will take this snap. It's a 2-man rush. And he's going to find a man. It's Bijan in the flat. Breaks a tackle. First down. As we look at Bijan Robinson, we have a hurry-up call here by the Packers. He must like the personnel that the Colts are in. 1st and 10. $25 gift card in the line. There is a money reward. We want you guys to join for next year. And that's going to be a corner route. What? Oh, Dylan Irons. And now you wonder why is a backup unable to make that catch. But I do want to check Bijan's abilities real quick. We will here in a little bit. We have gun doubles here for Zach Wilson. 4-man rush, 5-man rush, the small blitz. Has a man, Smith and Jigba, underneath, east to west. Or I'm sorry, west to east, first down. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba is a big part of this Packers offense with Bijan Robinson, Rondell Moore, and Devonta Smith are secondary in terms of receivers, and that's why a little flash, a little dash, first down. That is a pass, folks, for all you Super Bowl bettors out there with your tickets and parlays. That is a pass. Give him about 23 yards, first down. Jackson, Smith, and Jigba, an excellent jet pass there. And there's Bijan, gets a block from the fullback. Touchdown, there are no flags. 14-13, pending the extra point. But as they go for the extra point, we do want to pull up here Bijan Robinson. The thing I'll say about the abilities, about other stuff, there is no freight train. There is steamroller, right? You gain your momentum, tank, tireless runner, joystick. The only thing I would recommend instead of tireless runner is balance beam. It really helps if people hit stick you regain your momentum and your balance. But at the end of the day, dude, what a game so far in Super Bowl V. 14-14. Trips have been used a lot by these two teams. 1st and 10. And it is going to be a playmaker, and that is going to be a pick. I believe it's Jordan Battle. Let's confirm it here. The safety. It is Jordan Battle from Alabama, the veteran. The rookie in year 1 makes the pick. I don't mind it. I like the playmaker from Michael. However, and the Colts, it was a forced throw. Good idea. No need to execute the throw. And that's going to be underneath. Smith and Jigba, the OSU product many moons ago. First down. Here come the Packers on drive 3. They're 2 for 2 with 2 red zone trips. I-form look. In motion goes the rookie. The rookie tight end. It's a handoff. It's Bijan. There's room to run. He's going to go to the pirate shit, maybe. Oh. And he got pulled underwater there at Raymond James Stadium, unable to go to the top of the ship and say, ahoy, me matey. First down and 10 here at the 11, not first and goal, just outside of first and goal. It's going to be an RPO to Galloway, and Galloway has done it. Stan Galloway, the X-Factor rookie tight end, he does have tank. Touchdown, Green Bay. They have the lead. They get ball at half. This is one tough football team coming from a city near you. This is someone who's been a sub since day 1 of my channel. We're around the same age. Shout out to Kyler Weist. His gamer tag is Weist Enigma. But the thing I will say about this man is he has been a trooper since day 1. Shout out to both these teams. They are definitely both franchise advocates on this channel and in the CKFL Discord. Join the Discord if you want to be part of the franchise next year. It's going to be a dump-off pass for Swift. Give him 6. But the one thing I'll say, and again, these teams are using trips a lot. It's one of the best formations in the game. That's why I told you guys, an Ultimate Team, how hard it is to stop trips. 2nd and 4, 4-man rush. Calm, relaxed pocket there by Eider. What a move by Shaheed. The stutter step, first down, give him about 40. 4-man rush. You want to see some pressure. A lack of pressure against Miami is why Denver lost and Coach K in the 2nd round of the AFC playoffs here in year 5. Pressure is everything in the CKFL league. 3-man rush. There is no pressure. What a catch by Trevontre Stout. And honestly, I would wind this clock all the way down. That was a little bit premature because shotgun handoffs on the 1 are not a good idea. You're doing a hurry-up offense. We know what you're doing. I don't know if the Packers ran commit there, but I will say I just don't like the play call personally. 3-man rush. Again, a comfortable pocket. We are seeing the most questionable tight throws. Not in terms of like a read, but like they're tight throws. And I feel like every tight throw has almost been caught. I would say at least, 85% of these throws have been caught in traffic with people around you on the defensive side. 21-21. What a return. 30-yard line. Nets, pretty much a touchback in the air. We will see what NFL rules occur going into Madden 26, but the kickoff rule has definitely made the game a little bit more interesting. It's almost 20-yard line or better guaranteed every time. Because even if you let the ball bounce, and this is going to be off a sat there incomplete, 2nd and 10, but good coverage there by the Colts. But the thing is, when you literally have a kickoff rule compared to last year where you could do a scum kick, right? It almost makes it to where, dude, you're going to have to, what's it called? You're going to have to strategize more what kickoff you want. And that's why I like last year's rules coming into this year's rules. It makes kickoffs more fun, in my opinion, even the real NFL. Bijan Robinson, 15 yards, 9 yards a carry average, 9 rushes for 81 yards. First down past midfield. And now if you're Green Bay, you do get ball at half. You need to manage the clock here and be appropriate with your clock management. Both these teams had about 2.5 days to prepare from Friday night. First down and 10. Here we go. And it is going to be a dump off pass in bunch. First down and 10. And we are right now on a 36-yard line with 51 seconds left. 3 timeouts each. If you're the Colts, I would also think about using a timeout depending on what play happens next. Bunch. Motion to the outside. I believe that's Devontae Smith. In the slot is Smith and Jigba. Play action pass. 3-man rush. Wilson smartly slides. Timeout Green Bay. It's 2nd and 6. Now looming for this Packers offense, who has 3 drives, 3 touchdowns, and they very seldomly tonight have faced a 3rd down. Again, 2nd and 6. Probably for the 14th time tonight, we have trips for this Packers offense. But remember, we do have a play call limit, which we can always adjust for next year. Dump off pass, Bijan, first down. If I am Indianapolis and I'm a D coordinator, I'm saying everything you have, stop Bijan Robinson and stop Jackson Smith and Jigba. That is all they've been doing. Galloway, 1 catch. Rondale Moore, no catches. Smith, 1 catch. It's all been Bijan, a tight end, or Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. Slants, a Matt Kennedy play call. Press RS and press RS. There it is. And he will smartly throw it away. It's 2nd and 10 with 2 timeouts left, pretty much in the red zone here for the Packers. But the one thing I'm looking forward to next year is the draft. Obviously we had a top 5 draft, I would say unanimously. Michael Penix, an X-Factor quarterback, 99 overall, was a 13th round pick. Not to mention he was a rookie, a steal, if you like lefty quarterbacks from Matt Kennedy here. And what a run here by Wilson. He did slide exactly when he had to. Just 0.3 seconds longer, it probably would have been a fumble. It's 3rd and 1. And right here, what I would do is I would run the ball here and trust Bijan. First down, call timeout. Hopefully you get about 2-3 yards. And then what you do is take 3 end zone shots to avoid the clock running out. If you're worried about having no timeouts, you have got to trust Bijan here, though, on 3rd and 1, in my opinion. In motion, that is the backup tight end Irons to block It's Bijan. He gets out of bounds. The referee line judge, number 55, signals it. First down, Bijan Robinson. It's inside, first and goal. Now you have a timeout to spare. I definitely like the motion blocking there by D. Irons. You know, like I said, man, these players, dude, holy shit. The intricacies they have in this football game, it's really sad, man. There is no more. Just call hike and let it fly. These players, man, they have their scheme. I'm not going to say ebook. Definitely not an ebook, but they do love their gun trips. I'll tell you that. Good pass underneath. It is number 0, Galloway, Stan Galloway, the rookie tight end. It's now a second and goal. If you are the Colts, I am having a quarterback spy. I am pass committing. He is not going to run the ball here because there's no point. If you don't get it, it's automatically halftime. He's not running the ball. Pass commit and shade underneath. Second and goal. Cover 2 is your best defense here in the red zone. No need for 4 quarters in a cover 4. Cover 3 still 3 quarters deep. And overthrow to the right side there by Wilson. Good look. Cover 2, deep outsides was the read. Just thrown a little bit too late. It's third and goal now for this Packers offense, who probably will gladly take a field goal to be up by 1 score, and they will get ball at half. What a beautiful day today it is here. A beautiful evening here in Raymond James Stadium, home of the Super Bowl 5 of CKFL, and in real life, Super Bowl, I want to say 55. Where Tom Brady won it all. Third and goal. And he will throw it away. And I know who Kyler is, the Packers GM. He will take his points. It's 4th down and goal. Left hash, the rookie superstar kicker, boots it through. 2 seconds left. I would personally kick off deep here. Do not give him a kickoff return chance. It should be 24-21 halftime. Well, hopefully you bet over for the CKFL betting props. There are a lot of things to come for next year. Again, the fantasy draft. You know, is Tank overpowered again? At that point, get a superstar running back that's pretty young early, right? It makes you more two-dimensional than one-dimensional. Clearly, common sense, quarterback is the most important position in the game. He finds Swift. What a catch. All that does, though, is inflate the passing stats. 24-21 halftime. But the game is confirmed to come out August 11th if you have the best edition. That is going to be a Monday. The standard edition will probably come out on a Thursday or Friday. What we always do is we have the draft. It's either going to be the first weekend or the second weekend. In all honesty, it will probably be the second weekend because they always have like an emergency patch and they always add at least 3 new features in every franchise. For example, in this year's franchise, they added the new really good draft animations where Roger Goodell is actually in the game. Good pass there to the right, Zach Wilson. The user was not fast enough going from south to north there for the Colts. First down and 10. What a strike. Devontae Smith. How do you do? First down. But like I said, guys, these two teams, they do have a good defense. They do have a really good system. It just shows you in this game. I mean, even in how Miami and, Denver was in the AFC Divisional, to have a score of 40, 49, 41, even 45, 35 there for the Steelers, it just shows you, defense, it really is tough. And I think the problem is with, Coach K and how he lost because of his defense, whatever. The first 6 out of 7 picks for me were defensive. And, the only offensive player for me in the first 7 rounds was Kyle Pitts because of his frame, his size. What a run by Bijan there. Give him 13 in the red zone now. First down, Green Bay. But it's all your philosophy. Undoubtedly, we are going to have a full, cross-play, 32-team draft. RPO, Smith and Jigba, give him 4. The question is, what draft pick do you get? Obviously a top 5 pick might be Jaden Daniels unanimously. I think he deserves X Factor. They'll probably give him superstar though. But he'll be a superstar quarterback already day 1. There's Bijan. He already has his X Factor lit. Over 8.5 yards per carry. Going on 9 a carry. First down and goal at the 3 for Green Bay. These cheeseheads here in Green Bay, they came out to play, and they are one of league's histories, not CKFL history, NFL history. They are one of the premier franchises, the Green Bay Packers. What a history they had, even going back to one of the first 5 Super Bowl wins, again, in the real Super Bowl era. 25-21 here is, again, a trips variation here. Second and goal. In motion goes Irons to block, and Bijan is down to the 2. And it is a tackle by the defensive tackle of Indianapolis. It's third down and goal. If I am here for the Packers, I am definitely passing the ball. The Colts are probably playing the run. If you do run here, though, what you're saying is, okay, they will run the ball. That ball did cross. Trust me, that I did see from the naked eye. Here's another look at it. I think the ball did cross that white line. The problem is, I just don't know if the game's going to give it to him, obviously, and you can't challenge it, sadly. Here we go. Michael is taking my advice, and it's going to be a halfback fullback dive. Touchdown, Bijan Robinson. The problem in this game is, even though you do have a run commit, the pinch mechanics, you're either playing the dive or you're playing the fullback dive or the toss. There's really 5 options, right? It's going to be a halfback dive / power O. It's going to be a quarterback toss. It's going to be a quarterback sneak, or it's going to be a play action, probably a play action drag route or corner route. I would play the pass last, especially on 4th down. Okay? An animation, a thought of a sack, a bullshit throw animation, a KO, right? His feet are out of bounds, right? I don't mind Michael playing the sneak there. I think my only problem is, though, he did sneak last time. You might want to maybe anticipate, and these are all the intangibles of the game. You might want to do a little cat and mouse here and play analytics. What are the odds he does quarterback sneak twice in a row? How do you play the fullback dive, Matt? How do you play the, halfback dive in goal line? What you want to do is you want to shoot the A gap. Good pass there to Isaiah Likely. First down. Smartly falls down there from the tackling Daxton Hill. But we are under 50 seconds here in the third quarter, folks. Welcome into Super Bowl 3. We have a rollout pass. Touchdown, Rashid Shaheed. It only took 3 plays. 31-27. We have a barn burner. We have a shootout here at Raymond James Stadium, CKFL Season 5. And again, welcome in everyone to this league. We have one more season to go. These two teams are going for numerous Super Bowl titles. The Colts are going for their 3rd, and the Packers are going for their 2nd. Both teams are entering their 3rd Super Bowl appearance, and also it is a rematch of Super Bowl 3 that actually went to overtime, and the Colts won on a walk-off score from a Packers interception on the opening drive of the overtime. But going back to the goal line defense, what you would do is you have to shoot the A gap yourself, which means you cannot hover over the center, which further means you are playing the dive, not the sneak. Now you see why it's a cat and mouse game. Whatever the defense lines up in, you might want to do the other play. In my opinion, the toss is the most underrated one because if they pinch their defense too much and run commit, these C gaps are more vulnerable. 3rd and 5, that will end the quarter. But going back to the draft, we will have coverage. I will make a very rare YouTube video in very early August. Once we know the devs of franchise, whatever, I will go over a fantasy draft deep dive. But honestly, out of the 32 teams and users, I guarantee you at least 23 of them, which is literally plus or minus 73% of users, are going to be returners, or at least people who have been in this franchise for over 3 seasons. That's kind of what I mean, right? There will be 7 or 8 users who they may not have been here for, over 4 seasons last year. And actually, I'm sorry, guys, incomplete there. 3rd and 5 and over the middle, first down. These two teams, I'm telling you guys, the power of gun trips is just so powerful in these football teams. It is just beyond me at how hard it is to stop trips. There's Bijan, first down, give him 6. But like I said, I mean, it is the cat and mouse game, and in Ultimate Team, it really is hard to stop trip spammers. I mean, I'm telling you guys, mid-blitz is one of the best ways to stop it. The problem, we have sacks. It's thought of as sacks that ruin it. It's going to be, what a read. Triple option, what a spin, which means you're not a conservative. First down, and the clock, initially he's out of bounds, but here's an NFL rule. Okay, and obviously even though it's CKFL, it's still NFL rules, right? Even though you're out of bounds in the 4th quarter, you have to be under 5 minutes. Then the clock stops out of bounds. Now, I'm not sure if he chewed clock there. You're not supposed to be able to chew clock until under 3 minutes of the half. We do have chew clock rules for the integrity of the game. 1st and 15. This is a big drive. Field goal is not going to do it. Good luck getting a stop versus football teams. But the good news is you have a 99 generational talent rookie kicker with superstar abilities. You probably can make it from the 44-yard line. So 2 more yards, you are in field goal range. 2nd and 17, check down. There's the field goal range. You are in bounds to chew some clock manually, but we should not see chew clock on here. Let's see what he does here. 3rd and 8 now, looming. Okay, it's not on. It's just chewing manually. The clock already goes to 20 seconds without chewing clock. 3rd and 8. And what a strike. First down. I'm telling you, man, the trips formation is just really difficult to stop. And I'm telling you guys, it doesn't take a PhD to learn that. Corner routes, the RPOs, the in routes, verticals, the halfback angle with the zig and the out route. Okay, it's called halfback angle, right? It is so hard to stop. And because of the RPOs and the better handoffs, in my opinion, even 0-1 trap handoffs in this formation, I think it's a lot better than gun bunch, in my opinion. It's the most complete formation, undoubtedly, in the game. 3-man rush, underneath goes Bijan, makes a man move, goes for a truck. It's 3rd down now looming for Indianapolis. The one thing I'll say in this game is if you are unable to get a stop here for Indianapolis, the one thing I will say is you only got one stop the entire game, and it was because of the goal line field shrunk, and they got a field goal, not a touchdown. That was not the read. The underneath in route was open. It's 4th and 6. And honestly, I would go ahead and take my points. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Coaching moment here from Coach K. You have to, first of all, and I beat Mike in the regular season because of this. I took my points. I was only up by 3. It was a 4th and 5, but I kicked it. And I think, this is a smart decision here. And I'm going to tell you why. Because, first of all, you got to make it. Okay. First of all, you have a superstar kicker. You're probably going to make it almost guaranteed. Okay. If it's blocked, you can't control that. Move on. You are not only up by 6, which is a touchdown only, right? But any stop ends the game, given that you're in field goal range for a 9-score game or 9-point game. So now any turnover, 99% ends the game, aside from a block kick or an onside kick, being down by 9, right? Again, you have a 99 power, special teams demon, generational kicker, rookie, so the field goals are almost guaranteed. Okay? 4-man rush, bunch concept, underneath. It is likely you cannot hit stick him if he has tank. Tanks are all over the field in this CKFL. We will see what EA does next year with possibly nerfing tank, as in my opinion, a top 3 ability with Truz in Mutt. There's that halfback angle, the zig and the angle route and the out route. There it is. One of the best combinations, an out route to the right, an out route to the left, a zig underneath, and in the middle you have the halfback angle. Oh, you're playing underneath too much? I have a streak too, far left sideline. 2nd and 7. 5-man blitz for Green Bay. Underneath, Swift. Give him 3. It's 3rd and 4. If you're the Colts, honestly, I would move. Because any turnover, you definitely want to make sure that you have 3 timeouts to get a stop. If you trust yourself, switch stick, it's gonna be picked. Fall down. I would fall down. If you want to score, go ahead. That's fine. Yep. And there it is. I see the reason why I would fall down is he needs an onside kick either way. Either way. 2 touchdowns or up by 9. By you falling down and doing a knee field goal, what you're doing is you're shrinking the game to where he, with the minute 20 and 3 timeouts and how good offense is in this game, he can score here in 4 plays. And then there's 50 seconds left, 3 timeouts, and then he plays defense. You fall down the 1-yard line, knee field goal. You're up by 9, 2-score game. The field, the whole game shrinks. You have now extended the game to where, really in an offensive first game. What a switch stick though there by Green Bay. And that just shows you why you trust your defense and you take the points. Smart coach is Green Bay. Hyder. Oh, go out of bounds. Smart. This is why these guys have numerous Super Bowl wins. Honestly, call me Tony Romo here if he scores a touchdown with over 50 seconds left, still has all 3 timeouts, he kicks off. I'm telling you guys how the game is won, dude. Seems. Yep, there it is. Yeah, to be fair, that was the read, but exceptional defense there on that hook zone in Tampa 2 there by the linebacker. I think it was Battle as his sub linebacker. Well done. For underneath here, underneath A. There it is, likely and out of bounds. 1:01 left, almost in the red zone. 4:01 for Hyder, 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. The one thing I'll say though, real quick, gentlemen, is the reason why you kick as well, right? Let's say Indianapolis down by 6. Let's say they do score a touchdown. Okay. The only way I lose is if I have like under 20 secs left. Because he's out of bounds, bailout. He had RB though underneath, or it was B. He guarded. He had an underneath and then an over the top touchdown. Smartly, Green Bay guarded the over the top touchdown. The underneath curl there was open. 2nd and 6 here. Everything here has got to be out of bounds. B, there it is. And what did I say? Call me Tony Romo. 51 seconds left. Analytics will say go for 1. Because that way, what you do then is you do the onside kick. And then even if it gets a field goal, you're down by 8, not 9. If you go for 2 and don't get it, you're screwed. So onside kick, smart coach. Okay, here we go. And this is why I said he got it. Now trust me, that was the move. Because defense is at a premium, right? Now what you do is you have to run. I would run commit first play. If he comes passing right away, I would say you have BALLS balls. There it is. Handoff. Bijan. The Packers have won the Super Bowl. Fall down. Fall down. They done it. And it just shows you how tough it is in defense in this game. The Packers have won Super Bowl 5. They have evened the series in what has been a great game in the booth. What a game. What a series. What a league this is. The competitiveness. It is absolutely insane of a team the Packers are. They are walking out of this stadium as a second-time Super Bowl back-to-back winner. Undoubtedly considered an S-tier player in this league. They beat me a year ago in the Super Bowl. They have done it. They have done it. The Packers of Green Bay are lifting the Lombardi Trophy. What a game. Coach K in the booth. I am proud to announce the Green Bay Packers have done it. And there it is, folks. There it is. 169 rush yards, 2 rush touchdowns, 22 rush attempts. And if we go right now to the league history, the MVP, do I even need to say it? First of all, I don't know why it's glitching where it says the Bears versus the Bears. But it is Bijan Robinson as MVP. I think the coolest thing in this league, and this is definitely an anomaly, folks. We actually have, 5 Super Bowl winners. The first one was, actually, wait a second. I think it was really cool to say all five Super Bowls were under 14 points. Because even though the Niners won by 14, it was a last-minute pick 6. So it was really down by 7 in the red zone, pick 6 by Derwin James. But every single Super Bowl has literally been like almost a one-score game pretty much. Like even us right here, for me last year was a one-score game at the end. And then sadly, you got a field goal in the end. But I mean, for a 2-score game. But we also had 3 different positions get MVP. A DN, Jalen Carter. 2 quarterbacks got it, Burrow, and I want to say it was Zach Wilson, I think. I'm not sure. We got Danny Gray as a receiver. We have a halfback Bijan, and we have, of course, DN Jalen Carter. But what a job. We are going to interview some of these players here. Let's see if they are in the Discord here, everyone. And again, all I'm going to say, guys, is, make sure you join for next year, bro. I mean, it really is a really good league. It's a lot of fun, definitely some sweat. If you ever think it's too easy or too casual, I mean, it's definitely somewhat casual, but at the end of the day, I mean, it is competitive. It's really out there. Some, clearly a switch stick pick to win the Super Bowl. But at the end of the day, dude, just a great job by both teams and great parties. We are going now into the Discord call here. Let's see if he is in the call room here for an interview here. Let me go and try to interview him here, guys. All right, here we go, guys. Hopefully we get an interview here with Coach K in the booth. And again, we appreciate you guys, for so much for watching the league. It really was the best game we could have asked for. Here he is, the two-time Super Bowl champion, three-peat for the NFC, Kyler. Let me change my settings here real quick. Hopefully it's not glitched. Kyler, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right, Kyler, walk me through your overall thoughts on the game holistically.
Yeah, absolutely. So before anything, I'm just going to say to Michael or anyone else, I know you picked up on I think it was like one play about the chew clock. I should have been the one streaming, so this wouldn't have happened, but I did not press chew clock once, even under 3 minutes. There was no chew clock. But yes, occasionally when I came out in a preset formation, like a specific passing play, I did about 4 different hot routes from time to time, and then that gets the clock under like 10 seconds a lot. So if you're not paying attention the whole time, it's going to look like chew clock, but you can go back and see that it was never chew clock, not once.
Right.
So
I get it. No, I get it. I get it, Kyler. Now, tell us overall what was going through your head. I saw that you wanted to maybe fall down the 1 yard line, whatever, on the first pick six. Did you want to score no matter what? Or did you think about doing the fall down and handoff field goal up by 9?
Oh, you're talking about in the fourth quarter?
The pick six. Yeah.
Yep. So, it's so much easier when you're not the one in the actual game to look back in hindsight and make up what you think was the correct decision. But I wanted to score, and I kind of changed my mind last second, but I ended up getting tackled into the end zone. If I could go back, I think I would have fell down. Worst case scenario, he burns his timeouts. I'm up 2 possessions with a field goal. And then even if he scores, he has to get an onside kick like that. But thankfully for me, he scored quickly, which was not good. But I was able to get the onside kick, and then I was able to get the initial run with Bijan to seal it where the clock was going to run out regardless. So if I would have gotten stuffed after the onside kick, I could have been in trouble because he can score on me definitely in about 30 seconds.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the thing is, I was telling people, all the time, I go, guys, like, even though it is somewhat riskier to do, like, in a way, to do the whole fall down, don't score, 1 yard line method, in Madden football, it's sad, you almost have to. I think we can we can all agree, if it was real football, you score every time.
Oh, yeah, you definitely score. But in that situation, if I would have fell down, I wouldn't have, like, kneeled it or, like, done something to not score on purpose. I would have just tried to score. Worst case scenario, I score right away. Best case scenario, maybe he burns a couple like a timeout or two, and then I score a touchdown anyway. And then it's about game over regardless of whether I get it or I don't get it. So that was the best case scenario. But, yeah, what I did, I was gonna live with it regardless, so I'm glad it worked out for me.
Sure. Now walk me through Bijan Robinson, obviously a one of a kind in this league. I mean, he he's definitely going to go down probably as the best running back, in CKFL for instead of saying season, we'll call it just year, overall year one of the CKFL franchise.
Yep.
How do you feel being the coach of Bijan Robinson and really having that honor, in Green Bay?
Yeah, so when I joined in season one, I joined fairly early, probably about like 4 weeks into the season or whatever it was, but I didn't draft the team. So I had some younger players on my team, and Bijan, he was kind of the guy I leaned on early, got him up to like 99 X Factor or whatever it was. But as for the Super Bowls I've played, the first one and the second one I played against Michael, he has really good run defense. So I always have to get creative, whether it's getting it to him in the flat and open space with a quick pass, or if it's doing a triple option shovel pass to him, or if it's trying to catch him off guard with a run up the middle and hopefully, using the left stick to, create some room up the middle. In your game, when I played you in the Super Bowl last season, he was actually hurt. I probably should have just kept him in, even with I think it was like an injury risk. I forget what it was, but I probably should have kept him in. But even with my backup, I think his name's Lawton or something like that. He's only like an 80 overall.
He played great.
He was still able to get some yards with him. So I hope people don't think I need Bijan to be successful in offense. Yes, it's definitely a plus to have the abilities, and he's much better than Lawton. But yeah, I always rely on my running backs, whether it's in franchise or I always try to have about top tier running back.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, walk me through, just in general, your defense for that game. I mean, would you say that the switch stick was definitely something that, is your best tactic on defense? Is there anything else that you're trying to do? We all know defense is so tough in this game.
Yeah.
Is there anything else besides just general look out for switch stick and tendencies? Is there anything else that, you want to say in terms of how you had your game plan versus Mike?
Yeah, definitely. So Michael is I know we both have 2 Super Bowls. We've both been to 3. I like to be humble or whatever. I'd probably still say he has a slight edge. His defense is still really good. But his offense is just almost impossible to stop.
It is.
I never really have a game plan going into it against him. I'm just hoping to get a turnover. He makes a mistake or two. That's my goal. But as for the switch sticking, I did a couple switch sticks throughout the game where I was only rushing 3. I was trying to bait him into something deep over the middle or on the sideline. It didn't work out too well when I only sent 3. That game, but my 2 interceptions, the one with Jordan Battle earlier in the game, and then that one with Carly's to sort of seal it at the end of the game, those were both switch sticks. So I'm glad I sort of conserved how often I was switch sticking. I don't think he was expecting me to do it, especially the last one to Carly's. I felt like that caught him off guard, so I was glad I was able to implement that into the game late.
Yeah, sure. And, I think the big thing is, as we, wrap up the last question for this Super Bowl, I do have one more going forward, but after this. But the thing I'll say, Kyler, is how do you feel now about, on paper, being tied now for the best user in the league? Because you do have 3 Super Bowl trips and 2 Super Bowl victories. No one beats that on paper. Obviously, head to head, you both won by under 5 points. And so it's you can't really say the scores or whatever. As of right now, it's probably going to go down to season 6 as a tiebreaker between you two.
Yeah.
And, how do you feel about that? I mean, it's got to feel pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this last season. That's obviously my goal, and I'm not gonna leave this last season here. But in a perfect world, I honestly hope to lose to Keanu. I'm going to try. I'm not just going to quit or lose on purpose, but I want to lose to Keanu or Aaron. I want to see one of those get in the Super Bowl, and I want to see him win it. And then I don't want to see Michael in the Super Bowl again either. It's not just me. I want to see either you or the Dolphins or Brett and the Steelers. There's Bengals could go back again. There's a bunch of good users, especially in the AFC. It's the AFC, even the Raiders. The AFC is a little bit deeper probably than the NFC. I'm aware of that. So I'm fortunate that I've been able to get early wins in the playoffs. especially these last few seasons, and then a lot of tight games against Keanu. Our game last year, he probably should have won it. He probably should have been in the Super Bowl against you. So yeah, the NFC's not to be slept on just because it's been me the last 3 years. There's other good users, so I'm excited to see what happens this last season here.
Yeah, sure. I mean, same here. And, I mean, we got to take our time here in the offseason and get all the devs right and stuff like
Yep.
that. I mean, like, obviously, we are going to sim here in about 5 minutes on the stream just for real quick to see, like, dev downs and also re-signing period for people. But my last question is going into the future. So,
Yep.
what is any advice you could give for people who, whether they join our league or not, or whatever next year, or they are in the league, in terms of just, like, fantasy draft mechanics in this league?
Yeah, so like I said, this is my first year doing a franchise, like serious league, especially a fantasy draft.
Right.
And like I said earlier, I didn't draft my team. I joined a team. I think I got pretty fortunate with the building blocks. I had to do a couple of draft picks I had to hit on, some trades, whatever it was, some developing. But this wasn't my team. But I'm pretty glad the team I joined, having a good running back. I know my receivers aren't the fastest, but they have good route running. They have good catching. They're good enough for what my scheme is. I'm not really a deep thrower. Maybe I would be if I had like a 99 speed receiver, but I don't, and I'm able to adjust to that. And then on defense, corners are important, and if you can get abilities on like safeties and corners with knockouts and different abilities and stuff like that, that's great. But just like in real life, it's built in the trenches. The D line abilities, stuffing the run, getting sheds, pressuring the quarterback, bad throws, sacks, whatever it is. That's what sets you up for success pretty often.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think DT is really hard to dev up. I think, a lot of the sacks and the tackles for losses are for players who already have abilities. So obviously, to get a dev up by stats, it's hard to get star DTs because they have to, how you get dev ups is you play well and you get the stats that are top X in the league. And so to get those dev ups is really difficult. And so
Yep.
I am excited to see, I said it in my stream for the Super Bowl, but tank is a big thing to watch out for going into next year. Any other abilities in your eyes where you're like, we have to watch out to see if it gets better, worse, it needs a nerf? What are your thoughts on abilities for Madden in general next year, Madden?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not a big passer, so a lot of like the route running abilities and like the short, medium, deep elites, that's nice. That's not really my thing. I'm more of like a slot-o-matic route tactician. I'm more preference that. But as for defense, the inside stuffs, the no outsiders, like I said, I'm a big guy when it comes to the front seven in the trenches. Those guys get off the shed so quickly. Even if they just have good stats with no abilities, you add on inside stuff and no outsiders, it's pretty difficult to get anything going as far as the run game goes. You make them one-dimensional when it comes to passing, and you have a pretty good chance of winning any game.
Sure. Michael, before we sim, the Michael coach user is here. Michael, if you want to comment on anything in the game, go ahead. Obviously, we ask that you keep it, pretty appropriate and stuff. Michael, let us know about your thoughts overall on Super Bowl 5.
Honestly, I just sold second drive. I'm pretty sure I threw an interception. That was obviously the point where I was like, damn it, I'm gonna probably lose this game. Of course, I don't know how I could do better. I was trying to figure out some solutions. I'm not really good with stopping trips offset. I had the chance last drive, 3rd and 5, I just messed up. I thought he was going to be open, but, because I'm not used to, like, a lot of people doing switch sticks, so I was, like, assuming, hey, she's going to go past the defender, going to be, like, a first down, but unfortunately just intercepted. I could have probably ran or, even slid and just, at least, what's it called, go for it on 4th down, have a better opportunity, but, I kind of just threw underneath, which I should have just trying to throw deep a little bit because he was playing underneath, so, if I threw like maybe a 20-yard pass, I probably would have honestly got a first down, so
Yeah.
honestly, it's just like kind of a mistake of just trying to throw so short to be conservative, but
It's tough.
yeah, it's a tough loss, but hopefully,
Season 6 will be the redemption for number one user.
honestly, yes, which is pretty cocky, but I'm able to resign like basically all my players from Wonderware, so I'm just trying to resign them right now.
Right.
And of course, Packers will probably resign all their players, but hopefully, I'm not gonna change my defense, but maybe the alignment where my players are going, because I try to do man, but like my 99 overall corners just for some odd reason, even though I shade in, they get burned. But I'm gonna try to like figure something out, maybe change my defense up, but I don't really want to because it was pretty successful. But I'll probably try a different scheme or do some different type of adjustments. But it was a good game. Just I don't really like it when people chew the clock that much. So it's a pretty tough loss because if I had those extra couple of minutes, maybe I would get a lucky interception, turnover, and have the opportunity. But just a stupid switch stick, and honestly, the clock going down very fast was not helpful.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean it's tough, dude. I mean, my big advice, Mike, is you have got to learn the switch stick. It is a big part of this game. You have to go for those corner routes and trips. Switch stick down those in routes. I mean, start low with Bijan in the flat, switch stick up. I mean, that's how you're gonna beat him. There's no way of just using one player and going like that's not how like. The switch stick did save Madden, but I think on the contrary, Tank is overpowered this year, even on tight ends. I saw, Galloway, the tight end in RPO, break 2 tackles from Tank for a touchdown tonight. We will see what next year holds, gentlemen. But at the end of the day, I appreciate you boys in the booth for an exclusive interview here for the Super Bowl post-5 round. For season 5 here. And the one thing I will say for everyone watching is for next year's draft, again, spots will go quick. Discord in my bio and Discord in the video of this, or it's the details of this live stream is my Discord. Everyone always tries to join days or weeks before, like, oh, it's August 1st. Oh, I want to find a franchise. I get it, bro. I get it. It's a brand new Madden, you're very hyped, you want to join a new franchise, whatever. Now is the time to join because it's just what it is, right? It's like the crash before the crash, right? It's actually better than the crash itself. So, all I'm going to say is we are ready to sim though, and we will get some dev downs and all that stuff. So here we go. We're going to force advance to the off season, and I will update the Discord stuff, the loyalty rewards. I'll update the, season's history, whatever. What we do in the Discord, folks, is, let me go to it real quick here. We do have
Will we advance to resign week, or we're going to stay in staff week for a second?
We're going to stay in the staff week here. So we do have the first 4 seasons. We do keep the division winners, the wildcard members, whatever. So we will do year 5 here, and, it just keeps going, right? So there it is right there. And, it's just, and,
yeah, my dev downs are pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm going to check mine right now on live YouTube here. I'm going to see my upgrade players first. And what won the stream here, chat. So all my upgrades are all this bad players, whatever, 60 overall players. So I did lose Jose Casillo, sadly. Let me go to some storyline stuff. Off-season workouts, cool. I will talk to Kalijah Cansey. See if I can get like a +1 strength, +1 speed. These off-season workouts are always a bailout for who you... I got Michael Penix +1 throw power, I swear to God. Going into year 2, it's crazy. Coach, they told me you wanted to talk to me. What are you focusing during off-season workouts? Getting stronger, let's go. Probably +1 strength right there automatically. More agile.
Yeah.
I'm going to say sounds good. I'll let you know.
I didn't want to interrupt,
Go
but
ahead.
I was just going to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
I was going to say regarding just the franchise overall, if anyone knows about tough Super Bowl losses, I think it's me. If you want to go back about, I think it was like 3 months ago, maybe like January, I want to say, the first Colts Packers Super Bowl. Go back and watch like the fourth quarter overtime ending of that, and you'll see a tough Super Bowl loss in that one. So
oh yeah,
tough to come back from, but you just gotta go back from step one and build off from there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm checking right now my staff points, what I want to do for this stuff. I don't know if I want to do awareness, stiff arm, strength, trucking. Max out play action. All right, so let's see these dev downs here. How bad were they? How good were they? You also, I mean, if they were top so many in stats, you got to keep it. I'm not doing the storylines because of the bullshit.
Blayatu Latu went from X Factor to star. That is extremely unfortunate.
Jesus. All right, I'm going to my lineup right now.
So these are the official like devs heading into like all of next season, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So
right.
Jalen Wright went to superstar. I'm already gonna make him a super X Factor because he was top 3, I believe, in stats or it was awards.
Oh yeah, I have to look at that.
So
where's the dev awards? Okay.
So
he's not gonna lose his dev, right? Yeah, he was top 3.
Yeah, I have to check, right? So what we do, stream and chat, is what we do is we have dev downs. So so some people have it where like once you're a dev, you're there forever. It's not as fun because then you'll have abilities everywhere. This lets you have super teams, but it's harder for super teams because of getting devs. So you get dev ups from like awards or scenarios or stats or whatever, but you can get dev downs based on age, or it's like dev regression of like league averages. If there's too many receiver superstars, the league will average it out to where you may lose a player. So, yep. but if your player did really good and was a top 3 award or a top 3 finalist for stats, then you can keep the dev. So Jalen Wright lost X Factor, but he gets it back because of those reasons. No one else on my offense lost anything. Pitts is sadly superstar, not X Factor. However, I mean, I'm still going to have the best 3 abilities I want in him. So at the end of the day, that's fine with me. My offense is the same. Defense is actually pretty much the same. Hamilton dropped though from X Factor to superstar because of age, not regression. So that's something that I cannot get back. So it looks like going into year 6, I am going to use my dev up probably on Mike Hall DT and get some interior shit going. But I did sadly lose my corner, Devontae Banks. I kept seeing, thank God, superstar. My safeties are set then for the last season. So, I mean, I'm going to already make Mike Hall a superstar because you do get one in the offseason. And he's
I don't know if you're taking requests. I wish there was at least one more commissioner in here. I got a couple.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, Zandy, how you doing, dude?
What's up? Just making sure, with rookies from last year who had devs, do they get them back, yes or no? Or
what do you mean by
no?
What do you mean by
rookie?
rookie?
Just had their like my rookie. I'm just asking. I don't really care. I had a left end rookie from last year. He had superstar, and he lost his dev.
Not if he wasn't top 3.
Okay.
Yeah, sadly, I mean, it sucks. It sucks, but like, yeah, I'm sorry, dude.
Because I had a rookie who won offensive rookie of the year. He went from superstar to star, so he gets his stuff back, correct?
Yes, he will. Yes, and yeah, it's all in the tab that Kwanu made. So I think what we can do, actually, just because there's no rush, I think what I want to do is I first want to. so we're not at the re-sign stage yet. I want to give people a chance for the storylines. We'll probably at least give it like 10, 12 hours. I want people to do the storylines if they want to, the off-season workout, and I want to do the tab of like dev, like I want to do like loyalty and other stuff. So what we will do is I will figure that out here before I go to bed, but we will end the stream here and do everything off stream here in the Discord tab. But we do appreciate everyone watching, and from a YouTube point of view, I will see you guys tomorrow for Ultimate.